And that replay is on Tuesday at Wolverhampton. But now it's time for your letters, and a very warm reaction really to our interview last week with that great old Arsenal star Ted Drake. Perhaps the nicest letter, I think, came from Mrs Arsey Horn of 9 Poplar House, Langley Slough in Berkshire, who remembers seeing Ted play on the Queen's Park Rangers ground many years ago, and she remembers it for the very good reason that during the kick-in before the game, Ted kicked the ball smack into her face. Oh, he was so upset, says Mrs Horn, especially as I was a woman. He came to me at half-time and after the match to see how I was. What a gentleman he was and is. I don't want you to run away with the idea that there are no gentlemen in the game today, because so many of you noticed a special act of sportsmanship by the Arsenal goalkeeper, Pat Jennings, at the end of the game between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest a couple of weeks ago. Michael Rooney of 74 Crossway Plimpton in Plymouth, Mr F Wilkinson of 10 St Birinus, Flackwell Heath, High Wycombe in Buckinghamshire, and Robert Palos of 2 Reynolds Drive, Edgware in Middlesex all noticed how Pat courteously allowed all the visitors to leave the field first at the end of that game. There goes Peter Shilton in, and Pat now waiting at the entrance to the tunnel. And I think anybody who knows this big, amiable Irishman would say, well, that's the sort of thing that you'd expect from Pat Jennings. A lot of people say he should be our personality of the month, footballer of the year, and goodness knows what else. A final handshake to Viv Anderson there. That's Pat Jennings. We've often paid tribute in the past to our eagle-eyed young viewers, and Ian Belfield of 30 Albert Road, Rayleigh in Essex, is another of them. He noticed that Fulham's Peter Marinello was wearing his shorts back to front against Sunderland last week. Was it so they couldn't tell whether he was coming or going, asked Ian. In fact, we look here, you can see John Beck there with the trademark we've arrowed there on the front of his shorts, and Peter Marinello with that trademark on the back. In fact, it's a nice little story. The first time Peter played for Fulham, by accident, he put his shorts on back to front. He thought he played rather well, and now, as a superstition, he doesn't see why he should change. So Peter Marinello always wears his shorts back to front.